Hey everyone, me again. I hope you're having a ton of fun coding in the Star Wars universe, but we're going to take a short break to go over some coding vocabulary that's super important to the coding process. But we'll get back to Star Wars soon enough, so hold tight. First things first, what does code mean? Now you've all seen the word 100 times. Well, what does it actually mean? Well, in most cases, code can be described as the words or blocks on a screen that lead to a specific outcome in your program. Or, to put it another way, code is what you put down on the screen that makes something happen. So, for example, the blocks you've dragged in your activities to make BB-8 go places and pick up scrap, that's code. Now, another important part of writing code is something called debugging. A bug is something in your program that happens that isn't intended to happen. So if I write a program that's supposed to say the word go, and instead it says the word stop, that would be considered a bug. Now, debugging is the process of removing those bugs from your code. So let's say I figure out what's wrong, I fix it, and now when I run my code, it says go. I have officially debugged my code. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, well, why are they called bugs? Bugs are gross. They're like real things. They aren't computer things. And, well, it's actually a super cool story. Coding used to require massive pieces of technology and was much more complicated than it is today. Back then, actual bugs like moths would get into the computers and cause problems. Debugging in the past was literally removing moths and other bugs from parts of the computer. So let's just say I am glad we no longer have to deal with actual bugs when we code. So I have one last vocabulary word for you, and that is programming. Now you'll hear people talk about programming a lot, and most of the time what they mean is actually the same thing as coding. It's the process of writing your code down and making a program. Programming is exactly what you did earlier with BB-8. You programmed him to go pick up scrap. So, to recap, code is the stuff you put on the screen, whether it's words and texts or blocks you drag and drop. Bugs are bits of code that don't do what you want them to do. Debugging is the process of removing those bugs from your program. Writing down the code or dragging the blocks is called programming, and what you did earlier already makes you programmers. These are very important words to remember, and you'll see them everywhere as you're working with code, so don't forget them. That's all I've got for now, and I hope you guys are all excited to get back to some more Star Wars code.